Hello and welcome to the most ill-informed predictions video of New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom that you will find on this platform we call YouTube. I don't particularly follow New Japan. I really want to start doing. I'm going to start with this Wrestle Kingdom and hopefully keep it up as best I can. Get myself New Japan World and hopefully keep up with at least the big shows throughout the year and be a bit more informed for future events. So, without further ado, this will be fun just to see how badly I do. We're going to start with, obviously, night one. Makes most sense, right? And we're going to start with one of the opening matches, which is a Stardom exhibition match. Now, hand on heart, no idea about Stardom. Don't know who any of these girls are. I'm just gonna pick. I'm gonna pick the team of. Is it pronounced Giulia? It looks like it could be. It's like Giulia, but it could be Julia, I guess. And Hana Kimura. I'm just gonna pick them. I like Julia's single name. Sounds like a bit more star power, like Madonna. And I don't know. I like Hannah's pink armband thing. I have no reasoning whatsoever. It's just which one was I drawn to the most. Them. Next, we have an 8-man tag. Again, between 8 people that I don't think I've heard of any of these. Maybe that Carl Fredericks looks a little bit familiar. Anyway, I'm going to go with the opposite team. Yuya Uemura, Yota Tsuji, Tomoaki Honma, and Togi Makabe. I'm looking forward to discovering a lot of these people and seeing who I'm a fan of and who I'm not, because this is like it's not a complete blank slate. I know the big stars in New Japan. You know, I know your Okadas, I know your Will Ospreays, your Ibushis, your Zack Sabre Juniors. I know that caliber. You know, Jay White's, the Gorillas of Destiny. I know sort of like the main event and upper mid card scene of New Japan, but these opening matches, I don't think I know who any of the people are in any of them. Oh, I've heard of Yuji Nagata, actually, I think I've heard of him in the next match. So yeah, I'm looking forward to discovering some people, hopefully, on this that I enjoy. Speaking of Yuji Nagata, that's the third and final opening match on night one. And I'm just going to pick his team because I'm pretty sure I've heard his name before, so there you have it. We're going to go with Manabu Nakanishi and Yuji Nagata. Okay, cool. Right, on to the show where I have a bit of a chance of knowing some of the people. And speaking of knowing some of the people, while this is a one-sided match for me, we've got the Jushin Thunder Liger retirement match, which has Tiger Mask, the Great Sasuke, Tatsumi Fujinami, and Liger himself on one side, and then we have Ryusuke, I don't know, Taguchi, Tatsuhito Takaiwa, Shinjiro Utani, and Naoki Sano, who I don't think I've heard of any of those. So I'm going to go with Liger's side. I mean, the theory is you always go out on your back, right? So he should lose this match. But that's just such a star-studded team. I mean, it's an old star-studded team, but it's such a star-studded team. It's the opening match of the official card. It's listed as first match, even though there's 3 matches before. I'm not quite sure what the deal is there, Japan. But I'm going to go ahead and say the veterans get the feel-good win to start the show off properly. Next, we have another 8-man tag. God, Japan loves its multi-man tags, doesn't it? New Japan. This has Bushi, Shingo Takagi, Evil, and Sanada against El Desperado, Taichi, Minoru Suzuki, and Zack Sabre Jr. This one's tough for me because it's actually the first match where I've heard of people on both sides. I know Evil and Sanada. Was it Sanada had a really good match with Okada last year? I watched that. I think it was Sanada. He seems to have quite a bit of a push going on. But then again, on the other side, you've got Suzuki and Zack Sabre. I feel like... I'm just going to go with Evil and Sanada and Bushi and Takagi to win that. I'm going to have to write these down, who I pick afterwards, because on my review I'm going to have no idea who I chose on some of these. So yeah, I'm going to go with them. There's a bit of actual reasoning to who I think is going to win some matches later, but at this point, I'm just basically almost tossing a coin in my head. Another 8-man tag up next. God, this is mad. it's just a difference in cultures. I would be really frustrated if there was just a load of multi-man tag matches on WrestleMania. I'd be like, this is rubbish. Like, where's the storylines? Where's the singles matches with a personal issue? Like, but so it's just different. It's just different, and I'm looking forward to sort of seeing if I can embrace the difference over the course of the year. So another 8-man tag. This time it's Yoshihashi, Toru Yano, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroki Goto, all of whom I've heard of. It's Chase Owens, who I've heard of, Yujiro Takahashi, Bad Luck Fale, and Kenta. So that's Bullet Club, right? I believe they're Bullet Club. I'm not that familiar with all of the stables, but I'm pretty sure they're Bullet Club. So, and Kenta seems to be like being made a really big deal of since he came back. Yano's like the comedy guy. Ishii's cool. I like Tomohiro Ishii. I like him. I'm a big fan of him. I don't know. I feel like someone like Bad Luck Fale could be there to take the fall. But I'm going to go with Bullet Club to win this one. Team Kenta to win that one. I just feel like Kenta's been promoted as such a big deal since he came back. You know, keep giving him wins. Okay, now this is where I actually start having a bit of reasoning to my results. Next up, we have the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match between the Guerrillas of Destiny and I'm not sure what they call themselves, but David Finlay and Juice Robinson, who have recently formed a team last year, I believe. It's the 8th defense for Guerrillas of Destiny, which is a lot of defenses, but here's my reason. I think they're going to retain, and the reason is because Juice Robinson is challenging for the United States Heavyweight Championship on night 2, and I just feel like if he wins the tag titles there, it makes that a little predictable that he's probably not going to win that. So to keep a bit of mystique going into that match, I think Guerrillas of Destiny retain. And what should be a fun match. I'm looking forward to that one. So there's my first proper prediction. We're on the on the 4th match, plus 3 opening matches, and I finally got an actual prediction that makes a lick of sense. Probably wrong, but makes a lick of sense. 5th match. Speaking of the US Heavyweight Championship, it's a Texas Death Match between Lance Archer and Jon Moxley. And the rules in this Texas Death Match, because it varies time to time, and company to company, is no DQ, no pinfall, but you can win by 10 count KO, so like a last man standing match, or submission, which I've never heard of before, which is intriguing. I'm going to go with Lance Archer over Jon Moxley. I know Jon Moxley is a much bigger name and much more star power, but he dropped the title because he couldn't make an event, and I'm not sure how many more appearances for New Japan he's going to have. And I feel like they probably want to build up Lance Archer as a big gaijin star with the US title rather than Jon Moxley, who's let them down. Obviously not his fault. It was a legitimate excuse, but still. You know, I feel like they take that sort of stuff on board and take it fairly seriously. Like they stripped him of the title because he didn't show. It was a legitimate reason, but they completely just changed the plans, whatever those plans were, and put the title on Lance Archer, who was definitely not meant to be US champion coming out of that match because it was Jon Moxley against Juice Robinson. So I feel like they're going to run with the Lance Archer ball. There is a possibility that they're just going to flip it back onto Jon Moxley and carry on whatever they were going to do, because the next night would then be Jon Moxley against Juice Robinson, and that can be whatever they were planning at that previous match. But I feel like they're gonna stick with Lance Archer now that they've put the title on him. So I'm gonna pick Lance Archer. I don't feel confident about that. Jon Moxley is such a bigger star, so much better suited to the Texas Death Match. It's his match. He's the megastar. He's coming back for his title that he never lost. It sets up him versus Juice, which should have happened anyway. I'm switching Moxley. I've just talked myself into it. If I'm wrong now, I'm going to be so frustrated because I should have stuck with Lance Archer. But yeah, Jon Moxley to win that match. Let's make that the official prediction. Let's see what next. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Will Ospreay versus Hiromu Takahashi. Now, this is a tricky one for me because isn't Takahashi just coming back? Is he the one that's just returning and coming into a title match program? Which would imply to me maybe not ready to reclaim the belt just yet. However, I really feel like this needs to be the year where Will Ospreay fully steps up to the heavyweight division and doesn't drop back down and doesn't hang around that junior heavyweight championship anymore. So I feel like I'm going to go with Takahashi to take the title here purely because I think they've got bigger things planned, literally bigger, for Will Ospreay. Over the course of 2020, so Takahashi to win the Junior Heavyweight Championship. And I bet so many of you are watching this video going, "Wow, this guy does not know what he's talking about." You're right, I don't. It's part of the fun. I'm not exploring. I'm discovering. That's a better word. New Japan Pro Wrestling on YouTube for everyone to laugh at me for how badly I'm doing. Okay, right. The last two matches. This is where it gets a bit tricky. You've got to consider all possibilities. The seventh match is for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, but I'm going to club it in with the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match, and the reason for that is on night 2, the two losers are going to face off just in a match. The two winners are going to face off for both titles. I don't know if they're going to unify the titles or just going to hold. By the way, that's another reason I don't think Juice Robinson's going to win the tag titles, because I don't think they're going to have two double champions coming out of Wrestle Kingdom. It just doesn't make any sense. So, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship match is the champion Jay White defending against the challenger Naito. And the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match is the champion Okada defending against the challenger Ibushi, Kota Ibushi. God, this is tough. My little knowledge of New Japan tells me both Okada and Ibushi are face at the moment. Jay White's definitely heel. He's Bullet Club and he's very dislikable and very good at being dislikable. Naito, I always struggle to actually understand whether he's meant to be face or heel. I feel like he flip-flops depending on who he's fighting. I feel like he's sort of a bit tweenerish. He seems to fight heels and get a really positive reaction, but then he also seems to do some pretty heelish things in his matches. So, I really don't know. It's really difficult. My heart really wants to pick Kota Ibushi to beat Okada. I just don't think he does. I don't know. It's Okada. Like, Okada's like the New Japan John Cena or Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns. Just don't bet against them. It's you're losing most of the time if you bet against him. It's only his 50th defense in this reign, and he's had a hell of a long reign in the past, so he could be on course for another one of those. Right, Intercontinental title first. Who's going to challenge the winner? Jay White's early into his run, but he's probably going... If he goes to the second night, he's probably going to lose it to Okada or Ibushi. This is tough. This is tough because in my head is the reason they've never really pulled the trigger on Ibushi because he never fully signed. He never really fully committed to them, which he has now, I believe. You know, so now are they going to pull the trigger? Right, okay. I'm going to go... I don't think I've heard of them doing Okada and Naito recently in any big context. I might be totally wrong. I don't think I've heard that. I've heard of Okada White, and I feel like Okada's winning. So for the sake of something a bit new, I think I'm going to go with Naito to win the Intercontinental title, and Okada to retain the heavyweight title. I think that's my pick. So yeah, Naito to beat Jay White to become the Intercontinental Champion, and then Okada to beat Ibushi. As much as it pains me to say that, I want Ibushi to win, to retain the heavyweight championship, leading to Naito versus Okada for both titles on the second night. Okay, so that's my predictions for night 1. I'm not confident in a single one of them. Now, let's go on to night 2. And again, we're back to opening matches. How many do we have? Just the one, but it's a never openweight 6-man tag team championship gauntlet match. So there's 5 teams involved. The champions, which is Taguchi, Yano, and Makabe, who I think I picked to lose on night 1. They're being challenged by teams Robbie Eagles, Yoshihashi, and Tomohiro Ishii. Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Evil. Yoshinobu Kanemaru, that's the first name I've never heard before. El Desperado and Taichi. And Chase Owens, Yujiro Takahashi, and Bad Luck Fale. Okay, so I picked those 3, the Bullet Club 3, to get a win on night 1. I did with the Evil's team as well, as part of another 8-man tag. It feels weird having Evil have a title without Sanada, like a tag title without Sanada in my head. They're like a pair, so let's eliminate them. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go out on a limb and pick Robbie Eagles, Yoshihashi, and Ishii. I have to pick someone. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and pick them. I like Ishii a whole lot. I think he just looks like the world's hardest chickmunk, doesn't he? You know, like he just looks hard. He looks like the sort of person you wouldn't want to pick a fight with, and I appreciate that. And I'm gonna put him as one of the winning team. So let's go with that. Oh, we have another Jushin Thunder Liger retirement match. That's interesting. Yeah, it's a tag team match on night 2 as the first match, which is listed after a match, but whatever. It's going to be him and Naoki Sano against Ryuli and Hiromu Takahashi, who I've got as winning the Junior Heavyweight Championship the previous night. Okay, so I said he should go out on his back, but I didn't think he would because of the power in that team that he had. I'm going to say he does go out on his back. Let's go with Lee and Takahashi to win this. 2 wins for Takahashi in 1 weekend. And is it a weekend? No, it's a weekend. Yeah, it's tonight and tomorrow, which is Saturday and Sunday. Losing track of my days because of work nights. Excuse me, guys. So yeah, that'd be a big weekend for him. Win the title, beat Liger in his retirement match. Liger goes out on his back as is the old school way. At least in America it is. I don't know if it's the same in Japan, but I can only base on what I know, which is very little about Japan and a bit more about America. So I have to I basically would book this show very Americanly, unfortunately. So yeah, let's go with them. Next, we have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. The champions, El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori against Sho and Yo, who I've seen in tag team action before. I think the first Wrestle Kingdom I watched, the Okada Omega one, the one that switched everyone in the West on to New Japan. Yep, I'm that fan. Weren't they taking on the Young Bucks at that show, I believe? I might have my wires crossed. It was a different show that I watched after that, but I'm pretty sure they were. I'm hearing really good things about El Phantasmo. I'm looking forward to this match because I like Yo and Sho, and I'm hearing really good things about El Phantasmo. It's only their second tag team title defense, Phantasmo and Ishimori. I'm going to go with them to win because I'm hearing such good things about El Phantasmo. If he's making a really good impression on the office, then I'll probably give him a bit of a run with these titles. So yeah, let's go with them. Next, we have the British Heavyweight Championship match, which is... Oh, what company is it? Do you know, I can't remember what the company's called. Hang on. Let's get another phone in on the action. Let's have a look for Zack Sabre Jr. Is Rev Pro Wrestling. That's the one. The Rev Pro Wrestling British Heavyweight Championship, which seems to get defended fairly frequently on New Japan shows. So I'm guessing they've got a bit of a deal there. It's Zack Sabre Jr. against Sanada, which should be a lot of fun because, like I say, it was Sanada who put on a really good performance against Okada in a championship match in the second half of last year, and Zack Sabre Jr. is just Zack Sabre Jr. just awesome. So really looking forward to this one. Actually, one of the more, other than like the real main event scene, that sort of triple main event, the 2 on night 1, and then the clash between the 2 champions on night 2. This is probably one of the more anticipated matches for me personally. I'm going to say it's going to be Zack Sabre Jr. to retain, just because I'm not sure what relationship Sanada particularly has with Rev Pro Wrestling, whereas obviously Sabre Jr. has got a good relationship with them. So I assume they have final say in who wins the title. Even though it's on a New Japan show, it's a borrowed title effectively, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to go with Zack Sabre Jr. to win and retain his championship there. Next, we have the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship match, which is going to be between the winner of Lance Archer and Jon Moxley and Juice Robinson. And I picked Jon Moxley to win after some back and forth and a bit of an argument with myself. I picked Jon Moxley, so I'm going with Jon Moxley versus Juice Robinson here. And all I was saying about Jon Moxley was true. About how he's probably a little unreliable. Well, in their eyes, he's unreliable now because he's no-showed an event. His fault or not his fault, I'm just trying to picture how they view people, in the office, how they view their wrestlers. And Jon Moxley's missed a show, Juice Robinson hasn't, that I know of. I'm going to go with Juice to win it off Moxley. Moxley's got the excuse, if you like, the reasoning that he's just been through a Texas death match. And then if Moxley is done with New Japan or has very little to contribute anymore, he can be out of the title picture if he's got only a few appearances left or whatever the deal is, then that's fine. They can then go on to Juice Robinson against Lance Archer again as an angle, as a feud, because Juice Robinson has Archer's title that he never won off him. He won off the guy who beat Lance Archer in the guy's specialist match. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Juice Robinson to win. I know it's a 1-day title reign, and I don't think New Japan are that keen on super short title reigns, but in this instance, I think it makes good sense to switch the titles a couple of times just to. I think that's the most logical booking, in my mind. But again, I'm thinking of this very Americanly. I don't really know how New Japan book. I don't fully understand their booking process. So I'm probably totally wrong with all this. Next, we have the Never Openweight Championship. Kenta against Goto. Kenta to win. I said when I was talking about night one, he's on a roll. He's being put over big in New Japan at the moment. This is another standard retention for him, I believe. Okay, next we have a special single match between Blank and Blank. So this will be the losers of the previous night's matches facing off, which in my scenario is Jay White and Ibushi. This is tough because I feel like both guys they're kind of high on. Ibushi since he signed, and Jay White just has been a bit of a revelation as like top foreign heel in the company, I would say. This is quite tough, this. One of them has to lose twice in a weekend, which is pretty rough. I'm going to vote in my heart, and I'm just going to go with Ibushi. I just don't want Ibushi to lose twice in a weekend. I'll be so happy to be wrong about Ibushi Okada, by the way, guys. If Ibushi wins, I'll be really happy to be wrong. So yeah, let's go with Ibushi to beat Jay White. Next, we've got Hiroshi Tanahashi against Chris Jericho. Now, the stipulation on this match, is if Tanahashi wins, he gets a shot at Jericho's AEW Championship. Now, for me, for my money, there's not much point in making that stipulation unless they've got something in the works to have a little bit of crossover. Maybe not a full working relationship, but a little bit of crossover. Same as Zack Sabre Jr. is defending the British Heavyweight Championship on the show. They're not exactly, like, having, like, a big brand warfare storyline or something. They're just having one title defended on the show. But I don't think, unless there's unless they're planning on doing the title match, I don't think there's any point in making the stipulation. So on that basis, I think Tanahashi wins, and gets an AEW Championship match that he then loses. I don't know if that'll be in New Japan or if that'll be on AEW. No idea, but I feel like that's definitely my pick. As soon as they announced that stipulation, I was like, yeah, okay, Tanahashi's winning, and then Jericho wins the match for the title. So, yeah, Tanahashi to win. And then the main event of the evening will be, in my situation, in my scenario that I've booked out, will be Okada against Naito, correct? Is that who I picked? Did I definitely pick Naito to win? Oh god, I can't even remember. Yeah, my reasoning was I don't remember hearing about Okada Naito, but now it's starting to ring a bell. It's really starting to ring a bell now. Whoops. Oh well, I picked it. Okada Naito. This is tough because, like, Okada, you don't bet against Okada, but does Okada need the Intercontinental Championship? Like, what's the upside to putting the IC title on Okada? Like, what does that really achieve? Whereas putting the world title on Naito, the heavyweight championship on Naito, would be a pretty big deal. He's not won it before, has he? Has Naito won the... I don't remember hearing it, not recently anyway, not in recent memory. I feel like he hasn't. And I feel like he's really, really popular with the audience. He could win this. But Never bet against Okada. Again, I'll actually be happy to be wrong. I actually want Okada to lose. I was going to say both of these matches, but that wouldn't make sense because he wouldn't be in the second match if he lost the first one. But you know what I mean? Either match, I want him to lose. Unless he's up against Jay White. As much as I acknowledge how high the office are on him and how he's the top heel, I just don't think he's there yet. I don't know. I don't watch a lot, but my impression of him is I just don't see him in that echelon with your Okadas and your Ibushis and what have you. I don't know. That's probably my own prejudice where I can't get past my first impressions of him because I don't think he was that great when I first saw him. But I'm happy to have my mind changed over the course of this weekend. I'm looking forward to hopefully having my mind changed and my eyes open to a few guys. But yeah, I'm going to go with Okada to walk out with both belts because who the hell bets against Okada in New Japan? You know, just not done, is it? Just not the done thing. Anyway, feel free to let me know in the comments who you've got for all these matches. Let me know your predictions. Also, leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you're new here. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description for my other channels, my social media, that's the word, and my Patreon, which is where you can support me for just $1 per calendar month, and it would be greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to tell your friends, if they're into their New Japan, about this terrible predictions video, and get them to come over here and laugh at me in the comments and tell me how wrong I am and what their predictions are. But for now, all I have left to say is thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been EBEZA, you've been amazing, and I will see you next time.